Now, here you'll notice it says HSS. You don't spot weld single side on HSS. You want to go back to FEZN because no manufacturer recognises using single side welding on high strength steel especially. So you just press your material button again, turn the dial back to FE2N, hold the finger down till it says yes. That automatically now has it on FE2N, and you can now control this anywhere you want. So once again, if you wanted to do a spot weld, you simply put your tip in here. Once again, we'll notice that the tip shape here is a little too sharp. You might file that down to have a 4mm flat area and then just round the edges off a bit. Put that in. Even tightening by hand is fine. And you'll notice the other end is a wedge shape for welding the wiggly wire on. You make sure this here is like a clock. Down here setting is for dent repair with the slide hammer. So if you have this attachment in, or if you're welding any of the attachments on like that for dent repair, you have the light there. Rivets and lugs is for these two settings. Single side welding is for this setting. Shrinking is this setting here. And this setting here is roll welding. So that's quite simple. We're going to put it on here because we want to show single side welding. And that's our single side weld. Once again, if you want to adjust any of these, say for example we want to get 1mm to 1mm, a little bit more power. We haven't tested it to show you here, but you get the idea from what I did before. 1mm to 1mm, we hold the finger here. Flashing, we go to 95% power. We don't worry about hold time beforehand, but we go to slope, we might go to say 6 on the slope. On the weld time we might go 10, and then we go store once, store twice, hit the store button the second time, so it says yes. Now we've just upped the power of that setting. So you can see it's the same every single time. Now just a note, don't forget that when you go back from single side to double side, you change it back to HSS. That's the thing. Double side, this should always not be FE2N or ZN, it should go back to HSS. That's important. Okay, so that's using your single. Now a couple of notes with single side. You see you have your flat earth. The reason we have this type of earth on is not to be annoying. We know the nice clamp ones would be good. The issue with this is you need as much of that surface area as possible. If you're separating the contact from the positive to the negative, you need a big earth. It's not an arc weld like a MIG welder. So put as much of that surface area. We know sometimes you can only get half of it. That's okay. But make sure you don't just put a little corner on. That's a real important factor. Now the other thing we want to do, make sure, is we always put the earth on the panel that we're welding onto. You must create the circuit. Don't put the earth on the same panel as the one you're welding on, and then when you start, be within about ½ a metre of your earth and work back towards your earth every single time. You'll get the best results. If you blow a hole on both double side or single side welding, it's only because you lack pressure or you have a gap. So use a hammer, tap it down, get it right, and you'll be absolutely no problem with the welding process. So that gives you the basic rundown on both double side and single side on the Telwin 10,000. I'll just give you a quick demonstration of setting up the C-gun, and then we're about set. So we'll just undo our jack plugs, our connection. Put these in here. Now don't worry about which side goes where, doesn't matter, it's okay on this particular one. When you do back to your single side setting, you must make sure that your trigger side or your torch side always is on the side of the control light. So the main cable, the main torch cable with the control cable connected should always go, if you're looking at the machine, on the left side. That is important. Whereas when you're using this one, not important. Put it in, make sure they're nice and firm. If they're loose, you can create a problem with arcing. Simple, just put them in, turn them till they're firm, done. Very simple. Now, once you plug your control cable back in, press start, and you'll notice it automatically knows it's on that little pincer gun. Okay. FE2N is exactly the same again, or ZN, that setting's correct. Once again, just choose what you're doing, probably 0.8 to 0.8 for a wheel arch, put it on your wheel arch, done. That's it. That's the whole setup to do it. Very, very simple machine to use. So as you can understand, everything is very logical, but that should be able to review on that at any time now and see how you can change it to more power, lock in a program, and that will be the program that you set.